Here in Texas, Planned Parenthood is the nation's leading provider of women's health care, and we have seen firsthand the impact of these terrible laws. We have seen since 2013, when HB 2 first passed, more than half of the abortion providers have had to close their doors. Today, if this law is allowed to stand, more than 5.5 million women in Texas will be without access to an abortion provider because there will be fewer than a dozen providers for the entire state of Texas.
Our prayer vigil. Thank you. We're here today praying that the Supreme Court upholds the will of Texans.
Women are having to travel hundreds of miles for several days to access safe legal abortion. If you don't live in a major city in Texas, if you don't live in Houston or Austin or Dallas, you are hundreds of miles from an abortion provider. That means we're under a 24-hour waiting period. Women have to take off more than one day from work. They have to find childcare, and they have to find transportation and lodging. These, to me, seem to be undue burdens for women having to access something that is safe and legal in this country.
And singing along and in praying alongside of the people that are going to be coming up here to the microphone.
How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found.
There have been new clinics built, new abortion clinics built after this law has been passed, compliant with the new surgical standards, but they have been built in cities with denser populations. It is the abortion industry that is choosing not to relocate or not to build in these more rural areas. There's a lot at stake for the pro-life movement as a whole at the Supreme Court today. The Supreme Court is hearing an abortion case for the first time in 9 years. It is a Texas case, and there are only 8 justices on the court right now, which means that if there's a tie, we ultimately won't have a precedent. So there's a lot to be determined as to how this will go down, but ultimately the Supreme Court, we are hoping, will define what the term undue burden is and consequently define what states are able to do when they're looking at abortion and what they're able to regulate, what they're able to pass as far as pro-life laws.